I'm always happier when I'm able to move a little. I just can't stand at one place. My teachers here would tell me, Veena ma'am, who's taught me in school, is here. Sukumaran ma'am is here. Thank you so much for being here. So, I don't know, for a change, I'm speechless. I'm generally never short of words, but the kind of introduction that my wife gave me, I'm still speechless because uh, uh, there's a lot which has happened in my life, and almost all of you are aware of it, but just to recollect a few incidents, because it's very important to show where the spark comes from and why it comes. Probably Dhanush also doesn't know a little about it, so maybe for him. It was way back in 2002, till 2002, my life was like a, prince in the college, in the school, wherever I went. I was an only son. I was treated like one. My uncle will tell you I was always the special kid in the family, not because of the naughtiness I had, but because of all the love that my parents showed me. And one fateful day, I lost both of them on the same day. And then life started, from prince to pauper on the same day. And if there was one person who stood by me throughout that entire journey, I was literally a nobody, right? And she herself was a queen in her house. She was a princess of the family. She was state first. She had both parents doctors, well settled. She could have gone and married the best doctor in the world, not just in her hometown. But she chose me. I really don't know why she did, but she tells me it's because of my story. So thank you so much, Deepu. And she's been there when I was a nobody. So I think all of you have been there with me through that, but her being there with me makes a lot of difference because she chose to be with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've never thanked her for that till now. So now, there are a lot of people who played a very, very important role in my life, but none more than my parents. There was a small incident which happened in 1999. We were constructing our house in Alwal. It was already over, but we were building some other room upstairs. My uncle is here, Ramchandra uncle would know. We were trying to build another room upstairs, trying to get the interiors done. And there was a mason who was in charge for it. He had a daughter. She was all of probably 14, 15 years as old as my son. And it so happened that my father's colleague's son, who was also looking for a plot to build a house and all that in the same area, he had actually violated that girl, had molested that girl. That was the first time I heard something like that happening in my near surroundings. Now, it is strange for me also to listen because I was hardly 18 back then. And my father said, you just sit in the house, let me see what's happening. It so happened that the next 2 days, nobody knew about it. Nobody knew where the family went. Nobody knew what happened to it. The police came for 2 days and after that, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I was asking my dad, Dad, what happened? Because if there is a rape which has happened against a woman, there should be a case, right? He should be behind bars. That was not the case. My dad told me, this guy, I wouldn't take names obviously. So this guy paid off 75,000 and the case has been closed and they were asked to leave and go back to their village. They were threatened and all that. And this guy is also not going to buy a plot here and all. He's not going to be in Hyderabad anymore. This is how it is settled. I was really, 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 really frustrated. I didn't know what to do. I was like, Dad, how can this happen? Let us do something. And my dad said, okay, I do know the commissioner. We will write a letter to him, but that's about it for now. You can't go beyond that, Nana. There's nothing more you can do about it. I said, okay. After a few years, it so happened that something very similar happened, but in a college close by to our college. And we had heard about this, that a girl was molested, they were in inebriated condition, it was on Valentine's Day, so on and so forth, but the same thing repeated of the process. The process was repeated, not just the crime. And the process was, the girl was paid money, around 3 or 4 lakhs, because the girl is educated and they come from an educated family. And there was no prosecution, no case which happened. Police also couldn't do anything much. We tried to do something as students. I was part of a students' union back then. We tried to do, but the girl wasn't even willing to talk to us. Without the girl accepting or coming, willing to come forward, we couldn't do anything. And I was upset with the girl. Like, why is she not coming forward? I was hardly 20 back then, right? So I was like, what's wrong with the girl? And then I started thinking, it's not about the girl, it's about the system. We had a law of crimes professor Dhan. He's there in the, grand universe above. He's there above, and he's an excellent professor. He taught what all I know about how to interpret each word in law. I truly respected him a lot. And this book being about criminology a little bit, about what goes through and what necessitates an individual to become a criminal as well, is slightly covered. But what he told me was, if there is a crime happening, you should let it happen, or at least let it start to be happening. Otherwise, you cannot catch them. So I said, sir, but you cannot prevent crimes. You said you can prevent crimes only by creating awareness. But unless somebody takes their step forward and you catch their hand before they do it, you cannot, stop them from doing the crime. But in case of rape, how do you stop them? What do you do? So, some of you have been a part of the lectures I give with respect to sexual harassment, and you will notice that the crime starts in the mind. Crime against women starts in the minds of a man. And when do we stop it? When the man is a boy. Start talking to your boys as early as 5 and 6 and 7 years old. Tell them what a crime is against women. Tell them why you shouldn't touch them without their consent. Tell them why you shouldn't look at them or ogle at them. Tell them why it is very important to respect them much more than your own self, and treat everybody not just like your mother, but like a goddess. Because even today we are seeing that even mothers are being mistreated. I was just having a conversation with Dr. Manjula Anagani Garu, and she was saying that, kids are killing their own mothers, right? And mothers are also doing this. What have we come to, right? So the process for this, or for the crime to come down against women, is to teach our sons to be better sons, to teach our kids to be better kids. As soon as there's so many women, all of them, one way or the other related to me as friends or family. From the moment a girl steps out of their house, today morning Pratyusha must have stepped out at 10 o'clock from their house and entered into a cab to reach my house, right? There must have been thousands of eyes looking at you, from top to bottom. Even when you came here, same thing which Hebah must have faced, same thing so many women in the audience must have faced, looking at them as if it's an entire, bowl of ghee shakar. That is what needs to stop. We need to stop the men from ogling at women, because that's where the thought process starts. So this entire thing, all this while this is happening, there was an incident which happened which was famously called as the Disha case. So you all remember that, right? It happened very close to where I live. And again, the same thing as to why we can't do anything. And we had our great Commissioner Sajjanar Garu, who did a fantastic job. I know there are a lot of people who might not agree with him, might agree with him, might feel this is right, might feel this is wrong, but I totally agree with him. What he did was fantastic. However, you'll be surprised to note that in almost 90% of the incidents of crime against women, the punisher goes unpunished. I mean, the criminal goes unpunished. That's where the frustration started from. I started discussing things with my wife sometimes, with my son sometimes, and I started telling them, this is what happened and there's nothing we can do. I couldn't eat on those days, Very difficult to swallow a morsel when something like this is happening, Deepti. What do we do about it? I probably discussed it with some of you as well, saying, why the hell is this happening? And then I started putting some ideas together, just in my mind till then. It's an 8-year journey. And 2 years ago, when I was just sitting beside my son when he was studying with my own laptop, he said, Dad, why don't you just start writing? And that's when I started putting, pen to paper, some ideas to, on the book. And then the idea was, what if somebody takes law into their own hands? What happens if there is no law? What happens if the same advantage of law can be taken by people who want to punish, or who want to be, away from the system totally, and a little bit about that, and there, took the idea, the idea of Disha, the ultimate direction. I don't know if it is the right direction, but I honestly believe that it will be a good read. I had it reviewed by so many people because I was very afraid, thinking what I would be. My school teachers and my English teachers always told me the same thing, that whatever happens, your grammar should always be perfect. Your pronunciation should always be perfect. And my principal as well, Mrs. Karan, Mrs. Lamry, my headmistress, they were always very, very particular about, when I say very, I say very, I don't say very. Because that's what she taught me when I was in my first grade, and we tend to follow that as well. So, with all that in mind, I was very worried that my book shouldn't have a single grammar error. I had the principal of St. Stephen's College, Dr. John Verghese, review the book, and he was also kind enough to write the foreword for the book. So please, a huge round of applause for him. He's an extremely busy man. Just because he's like my brother, he's done that for me. He's also sent me a wonderful video to accept that. So thank you, John. I know you couldn't come, but thank you so much. The other person who's written a foreword for me today is Mr. Srinivas Patnaik. He's the, he heads a UN development program in Nairobi. He's part of the United Nations. His friends are here to support me today in his absence. Thank you so much for writing the other foreword and being patient with me and reviewing with me. He was not here as well because he just got transferred from Philippines to Nairobi. Without further ado, this book is really, really going to be interesting. Please do read it. I just have one announcement before we go ahead with the launch, and that is 25% of the entire profits that we are going to get out of this book, whether it be 10 rupees or 10 lakhs, 25% is going to go to charity, which is the District Grant Charity Fund Trust. I'm very part of this trust, and we try to do whatever we can in South India with respect to burns victims or prisoners or scholarships and all that. So I'd really say that you buy this book, you're doing two things, not just helping me because as a budding author, but also helping serve the society. 25% goes to charity. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's very privileged and very honored to be sitting here. Dharni sir, thank you for inviting me. I unfortunately have no friendship with him. This is the first time I've met him, and so I can only speak from a writer's point of view. I am an avid reader, and when I was offered the opportunity to launch a book, I grabbed it with both hands, because from being an avid reader to launching a book, it was almost a dream come true for me. And Dharni sir, for a person like me who has very limited attention span, has written an absolute page turner, as sir rightfully said. It's an engaging genre. Crime and suspense are right up my alley, and sir, with his writing skills, with the interest that he's kept me peaked in throughout the book, has done a bang-on job with the book. I will not reveal too much about the book, but I have read the book, and the thought that he put in behind writing that book is also very incredible, and kudos to him. All the very best to him, and thank you for having me here today. All the very best.
Definitely indeed an honor and privilege to be here for the book launch of Suyodan. So I think we have heard enough about Suyodan, right? Or you still want to hear about him? I think enough, because we hardly know him actually. I met him, this is the third time I'm meeting him. But I can definitely tell about Hebah, because that is one person I know. And she's one of the sweetest girl and most diplomatic gynecologists whom you can meet. So I think families, like you said, we talk about crime in the thing. When we come from gynecology, we tell that we need to have the front room conversations about menstrual pads, about no plastics and all that. But now, whether we agree or not, you on the TV, things you see is that female killed him, or she killed her, or a mother killed the child, and the child killed the mother. I think this has become a front room conversations for all of us. The crime has become an inherent part of it. So is it something wrong going on with the upbringing, or is it something going wrong with the whole generation? I really don't know. So I think it takes a long time to go, and going again, this generation has changed over from book reading to seeing more on the TV. And more we see the TV, that is something which has increased the incidence of autism in the kids, and we also have less attention span to what others are speaking in the same room. So we are like, who is the elephant in the room? What are we going to talk? So I feel that there was a time when I was a child, like we developed our character reading books. People used to say that you can read a book and you learn the world. You don't have to travel around the world to know about it. Only reading the book used to make us what it was. So the way we used to get engrossed in the book, people used to joke about me. About me, definitely they used to say, we all love roadside snacks, right? So we used to have a lot of mirchi bhajis on the road, which we used to buy and then take it. So there used to be a paper on which they used to wrap and give. That paper also we never used to leave. We used to read what is written in that book. Because there's nothing else which is like no entertainment. We were born in a time when TV is also not there. TV came in 1977, so that was much later. By the time actual color TV came, it was 80s. So by the time our teenage is over. So this is the way we were born. So coming from that time to now, where people are not even interested to wait, I think, time has come for all of us to inculcate again the book reading habit. And I think time should come back where we all do this sessions of book reading to people. There used to be crossword and all where somebody used to do book reading and get into that. More and more ADHD and autism we are seeing in the kids. The only way to break it is to put their attention back into book reading. So I really appreciate you that you're getting back the book and making it an occasion. And second, everybody says it's a page runner. And then doing that, I'll take one more minute of your time, because when somebody says about the crime, gynecologists especially, most of the surgeons always want answers. We don't want only DDs and DDs. DD is differential diagnosis. When you go to a physician, I call them hydrocephalus. What is hydrocephalus? Brain which is filled with so much that it is so big, bigger than what they can hold. So they will think of, you go with a headache, they will say it can be, did you eat something? Did you go out in the sun? Did you have any vomiting? Did you fight with your friend or a husband? Or did you have cancer? It can be anything which can cause a cancer. So it is a headache. So they'll have DDs and DDs. Whereas when you go to a surgeon, oh, you have a pain. Okay, come, I'll operate, I'll remove. I don't want to know the reason, I'll just do it. So they're anencephalus. They don't want to use their brains. Only sane people with normocephalus are gynecologists. Two of them are standing here. So I think you should understand when we say we have to do book reading, and book reading is the way to go forward. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
నేను డాక్టర్ హిమదీప్తి, నేను డాక్టర్ ధరణికోట సుయోధన్ గారి వైఫ్ని. టుడే ఆన్ దిస్ లాంచ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ బుక్ దిశా ద అల్టిమేట్ డైరెక్షన్, మేము వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎ బుక్ లాంచ్ సెరమనీ. చాలా బాగా జరిగింది. అండ్ వెరీ క్లోజ్ ఫ్యామిలీ, ఫ్రెండ్స్, చీఫ్ గెస్ట్, చాలా ప్రముఖులు వచ్చి బ్లెస్ చేసి వాళ్ళ వ్యూస్ని ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేశారు. దిస్ ఈజ్ అ బుక్ అబౌట్ వైలెన్స్ అగెయిన్స్ట్ ఉమెన్. సో మనం రోజు సమాజంలో చూసేదే. సో దాన్ని ఎట్లా హ్యాండిల్ చేయాలి, ఆ టాపిక్ని హ్యాండిల్ చేసి రాసిన బుక్. A very interesting crime thriller, and I hope this book sends a message to the crowd. Thank you.
Sir, రాస్తున్నప్పుడు చెప్పండి, ఫస్ట్ టైం మీకు ఎలా అనిపించింది బుక్ రాస్తాను, ఈ సబ్జెక్ట్ పైన రాస్తాను అని?
So when we had this discussion, ఇలా బుక్ రాయాలనుకుంటున్నాను అని ఆయన చెప్పినప్పుడు మేము we were very excited because we had no doubts about it. I know whatever my husband takes up, he will do it and he can do it. So not just book writing kaadu, anytime he says let's do this, I know that thing is going to happen. So we were all excited, my son, me, mem entante okay, something new is going to come, but what is going to come out we really didn't know. And I think we are all very very happy and proud for him.
ఈ బుక్లో ఒక మెసేజ్ ఓరియంట్ ఏమైనా ఉందా అంటే మీకు ఏమైనా టచ్ అయిన సబ్జెక్ట్?
అవునండి. సో ఈ బుక్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ వైలెన్స్ అగెయిన్స్ట్ ఉమెన్ని టార్గెట్ చేసి రాసిన బుక్. మనకు ఒక మేజర్ దిశ ఇన్సిడెంట్ అనేది జరిగింది, మనందరం కదిలాం ఆ ఇన్సిడెంట్ అయినప్పుడు. సో ఐ థింక్ ఆ ఇన్సిడెంట్ని కమెమరేట్ చేస్తూ ఆ పేరు వాడాం. అండ్ ఐ థింక్ హీఈస్ వెరీ ప్యాషనెట్ ఇన్ ట్రైనింగ్ పీపుల్ అగెయిన్స్ట్ వైలెన్స్ అగెయిన్స్ట్ ఉమెన్. అంటే ఈవెన్ ఈ బుక్ కాకపోయినా కూడా నార్మల్లీ కూడా హీ రెగ్యులర్లీ డస్ యాక్టివిటీస్, and all his activities are about awareness for violence against women. So that is the main theme of this book. So I think it has a lot of public message.
రాసింది ఇంగ్లీష్ బుక్ అయినా కూడా తెలుగు వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా చదవచ్చు. బుక్ పేరు దిశ ది అల్టిమేట్ డైరెక్షన్. ఈ బుక్ రాయడానికి ఐడియా వచ్చింది ఆ దిశ ఇన్సిడెంట్ జరిగినప్పుడు 8 ఏళ్ల క్రితం. కానీ అది ఐడియా మాత్రంగానే ఉండిపోయింది. కొన్ని రోజులు అలా ఇంకొక ఇన్సిడెంట్ చూశాను, ఇంకో ఇన్సిడెంట్ చూశాను. ఇలాంటి ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ వైలెన్స్ అగేన్స్ట్ ఉమెన్ జరుగుతూనే ఉన్నాయి తప్ప ఏం జరగట్లేదు. నేను లాయర్గా ఏం చేయగలుగుతాను, నేను ఒక సమాజంలో ఉన్న ఒక వ్యక్తిగా ఏం చేయగలుగుతాను అనుకుంటున్న రోజుల్లో మా అబ్బాయితో మాట్లాడుతుండగా వాడికి ఒక ఐడియా వచ్చింది. డాడీ ఇన్ని ఐడియాలు చెప్తున్నావు కదా, నువ్వు బుక్ ఎందుకు రాయలేవు, వై డోంట్ యూ పుట్ యువర్ ఐడియాస్ ఇంటూ పెన్ టు పేపర్, రాస్తే బాగుంటుంది కదా అన్నప్పుడు రాయడం మొదలుపెట్టాను. 2 ఏళ్లుగా రాశాను. ఒక్కొక్క చాప్టర్ భిన్నంగా ఉంటుంది, అన్నీ కలిపి ఎండింగ్లో ఒక కంక్లూజన్ ఉంటుంది. కంక్లూజన్ అయ్యాక కూడా వే ఫార్వర్డ్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఈ మధ్యకాలంలో బుక్స్ రాయడం చాలా తక్కువైంది. రాసిన వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చిన ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ నాకు చాలా ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ ఇచ్చింది. ఒక బుక్ లాంచ్ చేయాలి, జనాలకు తెలియాలి, తెలియకపోతే ఫస్ట్ టైం బుక్ రాసినప్పుడు చదవరు. నేను లీగల్ బుక్స్ రాసినా కూడా క్రిమినల్ థ్రిల్లర్ రాయడం, ఒక ఫిక్షన్ బుక్ రాయడం ఇదే మొదటిసారి కారణంగా రాస్తున్నాను. ఇందులో నుంచి ఈ బుక్ రాయడం ఒకటే కాకుండా ఈ బుక్ అమ్ముడుపోయిన తర్వాత అందులో వచ్చే ప్రాఫిట్స్లోంచి 25% అంటే 25% చారిటీకి వెళ్ళాల్సిందిగా కూడా మేము డిసైడ్ చేశాము. డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ గ్రాండ్ చారిటీ ఫండ్ ట్రస్ట్కి వెళ్తాయి. అందులోంచి వచ్చిన ఫండ్స్ మొత్తం 25%. అండ్ ఈ బుక్ని అందరూ చదువుతారని అనుకుంటున్నాను. చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్గానే ఉంటుంది. కొత్తగా రాసాము, కొత్తదానాన్ని ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేసే మన తెలుగు ప్రజలందరూ, మన తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లోనే కాదు ఇండియా ప్రపంచంలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరికీ కూడా అవైలబుల్ ఉంటుంది. అమెజాన్లో, ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్లో అండ్ నోషన్ పబ్లిషింగ్ హౌస్ మా పబ్లిషర్స్ వాళ్ళ త్రూ అందరి చోట అవైలబుల్ ఉంటాయి. అండ్ ఈ అవకాశంకి మీ మీడియా వాళ్ళందరూ వచ్చినందుకు ఈ అకేషన్కి చాలా చాలా థ్యాంక్స్.
సార్ ఫ్యూచర్లో అంటే వేరే లాంగ్వేజెస్లో ఏమైనా
ఆ ఐడియా కూడా ఉందండి. మాకు తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని తెలుగులో, తమిళ్లో, వేరే లాంగ్వేజెస్లో ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేసి రిలీజ్ చేద్దామన్నారు. ఒకసారి ఫస్ట్ ఎడిషన్ కొంచెం ఒక స్టేజ్కి వచ్చిన తర్వాత డెఫినెట్గా ఆ ఐడియా కూడా ఉంది. అండ్ కొంతమంది డైరెక్టర్స్ తోటి, కొంతమంది మీడియా వాళ్ళతోటి కూడా మాట్లాడాము. వాళ్ళు కూడా ఈ బుక్ని ఓటీటీలో కానీ లేకపోతే స్టోరీ కింద కానీ ఒక మూవీ కానీ చూద్దామా అని కూడా అడిగారు. సో అది కూడా మేము ఆలోచిస్తున్నాము. బట్ ప్రస్తుతం బుక్ అందరూ కొని చదవాల్సిందిగా కోరుకుంటాం.
ప్రైజింగ్ ఎంత ఉంది సార్?
$299 is the paperback, $399 is the hardcover, and it's also available in Kindle edition. US లో $13 and $24 ఉన్నట్టుంది ప్రైస్.
ఏమైనా నెక్స్ట్ లైక్ కంటిన్యూషన్ ఏమైనా?
దీని కంటిన్యూషన్ ఉంది. మీరు అందరూ చదివి ఇది బాగుందని చెప్తే తప్పకుండా దాన్ని విల్ రైట్ సీక్వెల్ ఆల్సో టు దాట్. అండ్ విజేంద్ర వర్మ గారి బుక్ చదివినప్పుడు నిన్నే వెళ్ళాను కూర్చున్నాం. ఆయన చెప్పింది ఒకటే ఏంటంటే, చాలా కమర్షియల్గా రాసేవయ్యా, చాలా బాగా అనిపించింది. నాకెప్పుడు నేను ఏదుంటే అది చెప్పేస్తాను, నాకు లాస్ట్ పేజ్ చదివితే చాలా ఎక్సైట్మెంట్ వచ్చింది. నువ్వు ఎప్పుడు రెండో బుక్ రాసినావు చెప్పు, నువ్వు రెండో బుక్ తప్పకుండా రాయాలి అని చెప్పారు. ఆయనకి రావడానికి ఇబ్బంది అయ్యి రాలేకపోయారు, బట్ ఆయన బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ అవి ఇచ్చారు. సో మీకు తెలిసిందని తెలీదు. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
For more videos like this, subscribe Big TV channel.